What's good? Today's December 21st. There's gonna be a lot of background noise. My family's overly loud. I try to put something under my door to suppress the noise, but it is what it is. Um, Today it's kind of a rough topic to talk about for me. Um, but basically this is gonna be about approaching my next steps. Um, Especially going into the new year. I don't try to make the new year like a big thing. I usually try to make sure I'm good beforehand. But um I'm trying to reassess myself this year. And I did it last year and I'm doing it again. Um in hopes to make some improvement. For starters, school's over. I'm pretty sure I didn't pass either of my classes. I was terrible with time management. Um if I'm being completely honest with you, after work, I would feel so completely drained that I just didn't even have it in me to do work. And that's a sorry excuse, especially as a man. But that's just the truth of what, like, what was preventing me from doing my like schoolwork. And I definitely could have done better. Like I have it in me, but it's that I still haven't mastered how like to really get my focus to work for me because I am a person that struggles with ADHD unmedicated. Like I try to use natural things to help me navigate it, but you know, it's kind of me learning how to figure this thing out myself. Not to say I'm alone in this. There's plenty of research out there. There's plenty of people that offer help. It's just the way I'm trying to figure this out. And I can be a little bit stubborn at times. So, with that being said, I also had a conversation with my homeboy yesterday, and we've been just talking about where we are in like life as we're growing into adults, and where we want to be in life. And usually a lot of the times when we have these discussions as adults, it seems like a huge jump to go from where we at to where we want to be. And like for me to really understand and comprehend that, what we kind of got to the gist to is that we have to be willing to take risks. For me in my own life, risks haven't always come easy. There's some that I've done on a whim and I've just trusted my gut and it's just been like, hey, it's gonna happen. Whatever's gonna happen, it's gonna happen. I would call those my rather impulsive decisions rather than calculated risk. Um, but I did it before with like going across this country to a school I had no idea about that just accepted me and I just literally just went. It ended in debt for me, so that's why I kind of get scared at taking like large risk like that. It was very uncalculated though. I have to understand that. But what I'm trying to really do now that school is over, I'm trying to protect. I'm trying to go ahead and allow for myself to take another risk. For me, it's really just jumping in on my career, and I feel like I still have to establish myself, which is what I'm gonna do over winter break. But I know there's gonna have to be another risk that I take, rather towards the end of this year or in January, and that's just dealing with my job situation because working for a company that you really don't have much faith in is kind of hard. There's no shade to my company. It's just over time I've grown to not really believe in their values as much anymore. And maybe it's just the way that they carry it out for me, but it's caused me to feel like lethargic at work. And I feel like it takes everything out of me to go ahead and pretend to do what they want me to do because I don't really feel like it's coming from me. And that may be me being over emotional or I don't know what, but my heart's just not in my work anymore. Um, I go about it in my own way. I've had interactions with customers where I really feel like me being me is the best thing I could do. But, I'll still catch crap for it. Like, why aren't you performing with X, Y, and Z numbers? You came into the company hot, then you just died off. Like, what's wrong with you? Literally, the only thing that you're doing is keeping the workplace alive in a way. And I'm not saying that in a boastful way, but like, there's very few people that are genuine in my workplace, and they usually are against the grain. So, and they perform a lot better than me. I'm just one of the ones that try to be genuine. I'm not fully genuine all the time. I'll acknowledge that. Like, I've been becoming a little bit of a shell of myself lately, but I'm trying to, and I just don't do it numbers wise as they please to. Um, so I really just want to navigate taking a risk now, uh, hopefully into I wouldn't even say like a new job endeavor, but taking the necessary risk in order for me to catapult myself. Like taking the necessary risk for me to learn the skills that I need to take on mentorship. If that means me leaving my job so that I can get the proper mentorship and proper time to work on the stuff that I really want to work on, because there's stuff I'm finding that I really, really, really want to do, and it's not just like time wasters anymore. Like, I used to go ahead and be like, well, I want to be a YouTuber because everybody else is doing it, and I'm doing nothing else with my life. I used to be like, I wanted to be a psychologist because I have nothing else going, and I might as well just do it because A, B, and C. This engineering stuff is something that I really want to do, and it's not even like, it's to the point where I'm just like, this is all I'm looking forward to doing. Like, being an engineer, this is all I'm looking forward to doing. And I don't even know if I could do it with school because I have to redo my prerequisites. I don't have the money. I have terrible focus. I have to reevaluate myself in a lot of different areas and fix it so that I don't continuously fail myself in the area of school. Because school, I'm paying for it, but I lose money every time I fail. And I don't feel like that's a good thing for me to continuously do. So I have to really take this time and this gap semester or however long it takes for me to really go ahead and figure out how to use my ADHD to my advantage, to not only use it for my own personal goals and gains, but to use it in discipline in areas where I may feel reluctant to do it, you know. But I have to still learn how to leverage my focus so that I can do the hard things that sometimes we don't want to do. Because when you're pursuing something, there's going to be things in a way that you don't want to do, and you just have to be a grown up and do it anyways. You have to be a real person and understand, like, you're not so privileged to the point where you can't do the dirty work. You have to be able to do dirty work. That's something I truthfully believe in. So right now, I really want to go ahead. I really want to go ahead and leave my job and literally just go all in on what I want to do. I'm so sorry about the noise. But I just want to go all in on what I want to do. Not even just so it can change my life so that I can be quote unquote happier, but it's just the sake of me living. I haven't taken a good risk for so long that I feel so caged in a box, and I just want to get an impulse buy a ticket to another country, another place, and just go for it because I feel like I'm just so bored, you know? I don't feel like I'm taking enough leaps of faith or like jumping into risk where I feel like a man or a person even, I feel like a shell, just doing the same things on repetition, not taking any risks, not feeling like I'm going anywhere. And maybe I just need my eyes open to see like what I'm really living in. But if I'm being truthfully honest, I don't feel like I'm doing anything. But I trust and believe that God's gonna lead the way. I'm still going to continue game planning for the new year. It's gonna be rough, figuring it out and um, deciding the necessary risk I need to take. It's gonna be scary though. But I'm gonna put my faith in God. So yeah, that's all I really have to say. And for anybody else that does watch these, because I think I'm the only person that rewatches these, so I can motivate myself right now. But to anybody that's watching this in the future, anybody that just tunes into this on accident, don't be afraid to take that risk. Sometimes it's that one risk that can change your life. And no matter the losses that you sustain, don't allow those losses to cultivate a fear that limits you from going ahead and progressing and living the life that you were meant to live. There's a lot of times where many people in the Bible had to go ahead and take a risk and believe what God said, what God placed in their heart for them to do, and they had to go and do it scared. There's many successful people in this world who have failed countless times, but they got up and they tried again. And that's something that I need to go ahead and live out and not just preach it. I need to practice it in my own life. So I hope that this motivates anybody who watches it, mainly myself, mainly me. I want to go ahead and take this leap. And I just pray that it reaches whoever it needs to reach to. But I also pray that this is the start of a breakthrough in my life. In Jesus' name, amen.